Hello and welcome to this free immigration help channel. Now in today's video I wanted to answer many questions that I have received on this channel as your comments regarding the President Trump delaying the green cards and ban on immigration and all of these things that you see in the media today. Unfortunately it's really hard to get a proper accurate information from mainstream media these days because they all have some sort of agenda whenever they're trying to give you an information. They usually give you information with their own opinion, with some sort of a propaganda purpose, unfortunately. So in this video will try to explain exactly what's going on and what kind of executive order did President Trump sign, who does it affect, specifically what, and hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions and help you stop worrying and panicking, because some of your comments seemed very stressed, and definitely don't want you to stress in these times. So the website that I will be using for the information purposes today is the whitehouse.gov. This is an official government website, and basically this website has all of the information regarding everything that was signed, all the actions by the president. Basically you can find them here, and this particular one is the Proclamation Suspending Entry of Immigrants who present risk to the US labor market during the economic recovery following the COVID-19 outbreak, as you can see, and it was issued on April 22nd 2020, so about a week ago. So right off the bat I want to point out here that this is not in any way related to people with green card applications or something like that. If you are here in the United States and if you have your green card application in process, this is in no way is related to you. This proclamation is specifically regarding the entry of immigrants, so it's for people who are outside of the United States. This is who it is, and of course there are plenty of exceptions which I'm going to talk about, but here I wanted to point out another website. I always talk about it, is the usas.gov, again official government website for US Citizenship and Immigration Services. Again, all of the important information regarding processing of applications, regarding the closures of the offices and stuff like that, you can find it here. Everything that is happening in legislation in the government that is related to the immigration process can be found here, and you can just go to the news section and you will see the latest headlines. Just click all news, and yes, it's going to be here by all the dates basically and what is going on. So let's go back to this proclamation. Again, this is a proclamation suspending entry of immigrants. It's not in any way related. I know, because President Trump, whenever he was talking about this, he was talking about the green cards and suspending the green card application, not really green card applications. I don't remember exactly what the statement was, but I remember it was with green cards, and that's why a lot of people got it confused, and even a lot of media, they were saying that basically the green cards are going to be banned for 60 days, which is not the case. Okay, so don't worry if you have a kind of green card application pending or something like that. This is not, applicable to you. So this particular proclamation is for 60 days. It will automatically expire in 60 days, and it was signed in issued on April 22nd, so it will expire automatically on April, May, June 22nd. It will automatically expire, and also there is a provision here saying that there's 30 days, after 30 days, within the 30 days of the effective date of this proclamation, Secretary of Labor and the Secretary of Homeland Security, in consultation with the Secretary of State, shall review non-immigrant programs and shall recommend to me other measures appropriate to stimulate. So in 30 days we're going to have a review. Okay, so let's specifically talk about who it affects and who are the exemptions. Okay, so specifically, this proclamation affects people who are seeking entry into the United States as aliens, as immigrants, right? So, the suspension and limitation on entry pursuant to Section 1 of this proclamation shall apply only to aliens who, so it applies only to those aliens who are outside of the United States on the effective date of this proclamation, okay? Do not have an immigrant visa that is valid on the effective date of this proclamation. Do not have an official travel document other than a visa, such as a transportation letter, appropriate boarding foil, or advance parole document, or a travel document, refugee travel document, for example. Now, the suspension and limitation on entry pursuant to Section 1 of this proclamation shall not apply to, so this does not apply to, any lawful permanent resident of the United States. So, if you do have already your green card, your permanent residence, and you are outside of the United States and you're seeking entry into the United States, this proclamation does not apply to you. Nothing to worry about. Okay, number 2, any alien seeking to enter the United States on an immigrant visa as a physician, nurse, or other healthcare professional to perform medical research or other research intended to combat the spread of COVID-19. So, obviously, as you can see, they left specifically for doctors and nurses because doctors and nurses are obviously needed right now, considering the situation that we're in. Any alien applying for visa to enter the United States pursuant to the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program. So again, if you're doing the investor program, this does not apply to you. Any alien who is the spouse of the United States citizen. So it doesn't matter which status you're in. If you do have your permanent residence already, or if you don't have yet your permanent residence and maybe just have an immigrant visa based on you married to a United States citizen, this does not apply to you. Okay. Any alien who is under 21 years old and is the child of the United States citizen. All right. Any alien whose entry would further important United States law enforcement objectives as determined by the Secretary of State, Secretary of Homeland Security in their respective designees. Okay, so this very narrow one does not apply to a lot of people, but again, just keep in mind. Any member of the United States Armed Forces, any alien seeking to enter the United States pursuant to a special immigrant visa in the SI or SQ classification, subject to such conditions as the Secretary of State may impose. Any alien whose entry would be the national interest or determined by Secretary of State. Again, very, very narrow ones, but again, something to keep in mind. So, again, to kind of go over once again to kind of help you understand who does this apply to. So, for example, if you have a green card, so this already does not apply to you. It doesn't matter if you are outside of the United States. This does not apply to you. Now, if you are in the United States and if you are you have an immigration case pending, right? Like most of you guys here on this channel who are subscribed to this channel, most of you guys are going through immigration proceedings. If you're here in the United States, this proclamation does not apply to you in any way. Okay? Now, if you already have a green card, again, even if you're outside the United States, it doesn't matter. That's fine. You're good. Doesn't apply to you. Now, this applies to those who do not have an immigrant visa that is valid on the effective date of this proclamation. So, if you do have an immigrant visa that is valid, that was valid before this proclamation, which is April 22nd. So if you had the immigrant visa before April 22nd, you should be good according to this. If you do not have an official travel document other than a visa, again, if you do have, for example, a refugee travel document or advance parole document, again, this does not apply to you, and you should be fine. So hopefully I was able to kind of help you out. Who does this apply to? Who does this not apply to? Like I said, unfortunately, if you Google Donald Trump suspension or immigration suspension, you do get a lot of results, and most of them are just inaccurate, unfortunately, and they're from big media sources, like The Hill, New York Times, CNN. Where else did I see it? Vox. Just a big media sources that either placed old information, 5 days old, 7 days old, and did not update it for some reason, or that is just flat out wrong, that is talking about president banning the green cards and stuff like that, which obviously, as you can see, this is not the case. So again, hopefully I was able to answer your question, but most importantly, hopefully I was able to help you get rid of a little bit of stress, right? Associated with it. Sometimes you can get pretty stressed out if you try to read through, the mainstream media that we have here in the United States of America. I will put this link in the description below if you want to check it out. Again, if all of the executive orders, everything, all the proclamations, everything, all the actions the president takes can be found here. And if you do hear something somewhere, I recommend going directly to the source always and just reading it directly from the source. And again, if you want to read this one in better detail, again, you can do so. I'll put the link in the description below. And of course, all the immigration processing related issues will always be posted on uscs.gov, which is another website that I always recommend using whenever it comes to really either tracking your immigration case progress or finding answers to news, legislations that are happening, that are affecting these immigration process. So as always, if you have any questions, you can definitely let me know in the comments below. I will be happy to answer them. If you found this useful, hit the like button, subscribe. That definitely helps. And I'll see you guys in the next video.